breakfast, you've heard this your entire life, is the most important meal of the day. But for those of us over 65, that saying takes on an even deeper meaning. After a long night's sleep, our bodies are craving nutrients. What you put in your mouth in the morning doesn't just determine your energy for the next few hours, it affects your muscle health, your ability to concentrate, and even your capacity to live independently in the years ahead. But here's the sad truth that nobody tells us. Many of the breakfast foods we've enjoyed all our lives, foods that seem harmless or are even marketed as healthy, may be silently stealing your muscle strength, disrupting your blood sugar, and leaving you feeling exhausted by 10 o'clock in the morning. In today's video, we'll explore 4 common breakfast foods you should eliminate right now if you want to maintain your strength and energy. These are foods that can cause energy crashes, digestive problems, and even contribute to long-term muscle loss. But that's not all. I'll share with you 4 fantastic alternatives that our aging bodies truly need to function at their best. Because as our bodies change with age, they become more sensitive to blood sugar fluctuations, nutrient deficiencies, and food sensitivities. This means that bowl of sugary cereal or slice of white toast that you enjoyed at 40 might now be silently draining your energy, affecting your memory, or weakening your muscles. But here's the good news. You don't need to give up breakfast. You just need to upgrade it. Let's discover how right now. Let's start with the first breakfast food that we seniors should eliminate: donuts and pastries. Oh, I know. They're tempting, aren't they? Who can resist a sweet glazed donut with a hot cup of morning coffee? That's exactly the problem. Many of us have gotten into the habit of stopping by Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, picking up a pastry with our coffee. It's convenient, familiar, and especially sweet. For many of us, this has been a habit since our younger days. But what our 40-year-old bodies could handle, our 70-year-old bodies respond to completely differently. What's the biggest problem with donuts and pastries? First, they're loaded with refined sugar. A typical donut contains about 10-15 grams of sugar. That's equivalent to 3-4 teaspoons of sugar. This sugar floods into your bloodstream like a tidal wave, causing your blood sugar to spike. For those of us over 65 with already less efficient insulin processing systems, this is a real disaster. But that's just the beginning. Pastries also contain trans fats and saturated fats, the bad kinds that raise your bad cholesterol and increase your risk of heart disease. And at our age, our hearts need careful nurturing, not a daily challenge. The third issue, and this is really important, donuts contain virtually no protein or fiber. When you eat a donut, you get a temporary feeling of fullness from the sugar and fat, but just 1-2 hours later, you're hungry again. And guess what? Your body will crave more sugar, creating a vicious cycle that leads you to eat more and usually unhealthy foods. Meet Dorothy Williams, my 73-year-old friend from Tampa, Florida. Dorothy had a habit of eating a glazed donut with her coffee every morning. I thought one little pastry couldn't do any harm, she told me. But after 6 months, Dorothy had gained 18 pounds and her doctor diagnosed her with prediabetes, with an A1C of 6.4, just shy of type 2 diabetes. She also noticed she was always tired and sluggish, especially mid-morning. So what should we eat instead? The simple and delicious answer: oatmeal with fruit and nuts. This isn't the bland hospital oatmeal, mind you. We're talking about a delicious, warm bowl of oatmeal topped with sweet berries and crunchy nuts. Why is oatmeal such a great substitute for donuts? First, oatmeal contains natural sweetness. But unlike the sugar in donuts, the carbohydrates in oatmeal are released slowly into your bloodstream. This means no dramatic blood sugar spikes and crashes. You'll feel full and maintain stable energy throughout the morning. But what's truly special about oatmeal is the beta-glucan fiber, a super-soluble fiber scientifically proven to reduce bad LDL cholesterol by up to 7%. Research from the Mayo Clinic shows that just 3 grams of beta-glucan daily, about 1 bowl of oatmeal, can significantly reduce your risk of heart disease. Dorothy, my friend I just mentioned, switched from donuts to oatmeal with berries. After 4 months, she lost 11 pounds, her A1C dropped to 5.7, and she said, "I can't believe how much energy I have. I've been able to keep up with my grandkids at the park for the first time in years." Oatmeal also helps improve digestion, which is extremely important for us. As we age, many of us struggle with constipation. The fiber in oatmeal helps keep things moving and regular. Sorry to be so blunt, but this is a real issue we face. And here's how I prepare the perfect bowl of oatmeal. Cook 1/2 cup of oats with 1 cup of low-fat milk or almond milk. When the oats are soft, add a handful of blueberries or strawberries. They're packed with brain-protecting antioxidants. Then sprinkle 1-2 tablespoons of chopped walnuts or chia seeds, both rich in omega-3s that are good for your heart and brain. If you like it a bit sweeter, add a little honey instead of white sugar. This is a complete breakfast with complex carbs, protein, and healthy fats, everything your body needs. In summary, instead of sweet but dangerous donuts with refined sugar and unhealthy fats, choose a nutritious bowl of oatmeal with fruit and nuts. It won't just make your heart healthier and your blood sugar more stable, but it will help you maintain energy throughout the morning to enjoy the activities you love. And who knows, you might end up like Dorothy, keeping up with the grandkids at the park. Now let's move on to the second food on our avoid list. A traditional American breakfast many of us grew up with, but one that might be harming our heart health every day. The second breakfast food we need to eliminate right away is bacon and sausage. I know I'm touching a sensitive spot in American culture here. A traditional American breakfast just isn't complete without those crispy strips of bacon or fragrant sausage links alongside eggs and toast, right? It's completely understandable why many of us remain loyal to these foods. These are flavors connected to our childhood, to family Sunday breakfasts, and memories from decades past. Bacon and sausage have rich, fatty, salty flavors, almost as if they were designed to excite our taste buds. And the truth is, for many of us, these are foods our parents and grandparents served, and now we continue that tradition. But here's the harsh truth we need to face. Bacon and sausage are two of the worst foods for heart health in people over 65. Why? First, they contain extremely high amounts of saturated fat, the kind that causes your liver to produce more harmful LDL cholesterol. A typical serving of bacon can contain up to 12 to 12 g of saturated fat, nearly the maximum recommended amount for an entire day. The second problem is even more dangerous, especially for those of us at high risk for heart disease and stroke. That's the sodium content. A typical serving of sausage contains about 600-800 milligrams of sodium, nearly half the maximum daily salt intake recommended for older adults. High sodium leads to high blood pressure, and at our age, that's a straight path to stroke and heart attack. And the third issue, perhaps the least well-known, is nitrates and nitrites. These are preservatives added to processed meats to maintain color and extend shelf life. Studies from the World Health Organization have linked these compounds to an increased risk of colorectal cancer, a common cancer in people over 70. Let me tell you about Richard, my 78-year-old friend from San Antonio, Texas. Richard took pride in his real man's breakfast. 3 strips of bacon and a sausage patty every morning, a habit spanning more than 40 years. "My father ate like this and lived to 82, Richard would often say. But what Richard didn't know was that he was gambling with his health every day. At 75, Richard woke up with severe chest pain. Thankfully, his wife called emergency services in time. At the hospital, doctors discovered a coronary artery that was 90% blocked and had to insert a stent immediately. The doctor asked about my breakfast routine, Richard recalled with a trembling voice. When I described it, he shook his head and said I was lucky not to have had a heart attack sooner. So, what should we eat instead of bacon and sausage? The answer is scrambled eggs with vegetables. We're not talking about bland, plain scrambled eggs here. We're talking about soft, fluffy scrambled eggs filled with colorful, fresh vegetables like spinach, tomatoes, bell peppers, and onions. Why are vegetable scrambled eggs the perfect substitute? First, eggs provide high-quality protein similar to meat, but without the saturated fat and sodium. Eggs were once misunderstood as bad for the heart because they contain cholesterol, but recent studies from the American Heart Association have confirmed that for most older adults, eating one egg daily is completely safe and even beneficial. Eggs also contain precious nutrients that processed meats don't, like choline, an essential nutrient for brain function. Research from Boston University shows that older adults with higher choline levels demonstrate better cognitive ability and reduced risk of dementia. Eggs are also rich in vitamins D and B12, two vitamins that many people over 65 often lack. The best part of scrambled eggs? You can add all kinds of vegetables. Spinach is rich in iron and folate. Tomatoes contain cancer-fighting lycopene, and bell peppers are full of immune-supporting vitamin C. Each color of vegetable brings different antioxidants that help fight cell damage and aging. Richard, the friend I just mentioned, switched to scrambled eggs with vegetables after his heart scare. At first, I really missed bacon, he admitted, but after a few weeks, I started to enjoy the flavor of fresh vegetables with eggs, and I feel much more energetic. I don't feel sluggish after breakfast anymore. After 6 months, Richard's blood pressure decreased significantly. His cholesterol was under control, and he lost 15 pounds without additional medication. Here's how I prepare perfect scrambled eggs. Crack 2 eggs into a bowl and beat lightly with a little water. Heat a pan with a bit of olive oil, preferably a non-stick pan. Add half a cup of spinach, some diced tomatoes, a bit of chopped red or yellow bell pepper, and some onion. When the vegetables have softened, pour in the eggs and stir gently. Season with fresh herbs like basil or cilantro instead of salt. If you like cheese, sprinkle a little Parmesan or low-fat feta cheese. It adds a natural saltiness without needing to add salt. Listen to this. The protein in eggs is crucial for maintaining muscle mass as we age. After 65, many people lose 1–2% of their muscle mass each year without adequate protein and physical activity. This condition is called sarcopenia, and it's a major reason why many older adults lose their independence. You need to know this. Protein at breakfast isn't optional, it's mandatory. In summary, instead of bacon and sausage with their saturated fat, high sodium, and harmful nitrates, choose colorful vegetable scrambled eggs. You still get the high-quality protein you need, along with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, all without the bad fats and sodium. This isn't just a heart-healthy meal, but one that supports brain health and maintains muscle, things that are extremely important when we want to age healthily and independently. Now let's move on to the third food on our avoid list, a food that many people consider a healthy choice, but in reality causes major problems for our digestion and energy. The third breakfast food we need to eliminate is fried eggs and hash browns. Oh, I know. This is the quintessential traditional American diner breakfast. What could be better than walking into a local diner and smelling the aroma of crispy hash browns and sizzling fried eggs? This is a breakfast many of us have enjoyed for decades. It's easy to understand why many seniors remain loyal to these foods. They're irresistibly delicious, familiar down to their very scent, and for many people, frying eggs or potatoes is a basic cooking skill they've practiced their entire lives. Just one pan, a little oil, a few minutes, and breakfast is ready. But it's time for an uncomfortable truth. Frying foods at high temperatures creates compounds that aren't good for our health, especially for our aging bodies. When you fry potatoes at high heat, they produce a compound called acrylamide. which the National Cancer Institute has linked to an increased risk of certain cancers. And with eggs, the frying process oxidizes the cholesterol in the yolk, transforming it into a form that's more harmful to our arteries. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. When you fry anything, eggs, potatoes, even meat, the food absorbs an astonishing amount of oil. A small serving of hash browns can contain up to 15-20 grams of fat, mostly unhealthy fat. This doesn't just add unnecessary calories to your diet, but it also puts a burden on our digestive system, which already becomes less efficient as we age. And that's the third problem. Fried foods are extremely difficult for seniors to digest. As we age, our bodies produce less stomach acid and fewer digestive enzymes. Fried foods slow down digestion, causing feelings of heaviness, heartburn, and for many people, gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, a serious condition affecting about 40% of Americans over 65. Let me tell you about Barbara Johnson, an 81-year-old from Chicago's South Side. Barbara grew up in a family where breakfast always included fried eggs and home-style hash browns. "My mother did it that way, and I did it that way for my children," she said, "and I still maintain that habit." But when Barbara entered her 70s, she started having problems. First came a burning sensation behind her breastbone after each breakfast. Then came stomach pains that lasted throughout the morning. She also noticed she was gaining weight despite not eating more than before. Finally, after a night of waking up with what felt like fire in her throat, Barbara went to see a doctor. He diagnosed her with severe GERD and advised her to change her breakfast immediately. So, what should we eat instead of these fried foods? Let's talk about a true superfood for seniors: Greek yogurt with berries. This isn't bland, plain yogurt, mind you. We're talking about creamy, rich Greek yogurt topped with colorful, fresh berries. A breakfast that's not just beautiful, but incredibly nutritious. Why is Greek yogurt such a wonderful substitute for fried eggs and hash browns? First, it provides high-quality protein. In fact, 1 cup of Greek yogurt contains more protein than 2 eggs. This protein is in a form that's easy to digest, perfect for the sensitive digestive systems of older adults. And unlike fried eggs, Greek yogurt doesn't contain saturated fat or harmful cholesterol. But Greek yogurt also provides something that eggs and potatoes don't have: probiotics, beneficial bacteria that support a healthy digestive system. As we age, the bacteria in our gut change, often leading to digestive issues like constipation, diarrhea, and even irritable bowel syndrome. The probiotics in yogurt help restore gut bacterial balance, improving not just digestion, but also boosting the immune system, extremely important as we age. And that's just the yogurt. When you add berries, like blueberries, strawberries, or raspberries, you're giving your body a powerful dose of antioxidants. According to research from Tufts University, blueberries have some of the highest antioxidant content of all fruits and are associated with improved memory and cognitive function in older adults. These antioxidants help fight cell damage caused by free radicals, one of the primary causes of aging and disease. Barbara switched from fried eggs and hash browns to Greek yogurt with berries on her doctor's advice. "At first, I wasn't sure if I could give up my diner-style breakfast," she shared. "But after a week, my GERD symptoms decreased significantly. After a month, I had lost 7 pounds without even trying. And what really surprised me was that I started to enjoy the sweet tart flavor of yogurt and berries." Here's how I prepare the perfect bowl of Greek yogurt. Start with a cup of plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Choose whole milk or 2% rather than 0%, because a little fat helps you absorb fat-soluble vitamins and keeps you feeling full longer. Add half a cup of fresh or frozen berries. A mix of blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries makes an excellent choice. If you want a little sweetness, drizzle a small amount of honey, just enough to take the edge off the yogurt's tartness. Then sprinkle a tablespoon of ground flaxseed. It's full of omega-3s and soluble fiber. If you like something crunchy, add a few chopped walnuts. This breakfast isn't just easy to make, no stove or pan needed, but it's also incredibly nutritious. Here's the best part. The calcium in Greek yogurt is invaluable for our bone health. After 50, especially for women after menopause, bone density decreases significantly, leading to osteoporosis and an increased risk of fractures. 1 cup of Greek yogurt provides about 25% of your daily calcium needs, plus vitamin D necessary to absorb calcium. This is a powerful combination that helps keep your bones strong as you age. In summary, instead of fried eggs and hash browns with unhealthy fats, acrylamide compounds, and a burden on your digestive system, choose Greek yogurt with berries. You'll get high-quality protein, gut-caring probiotics, bone-strengthening calcium, and brain-protecting antioxidants, all in a gentle, easy-to-digest breakfast that won't cause acid reflux or discomfort. That's a gentle, nutritious way to start your day. Now let's move on to the final food on our avoid list, a food that the food industry has convinced us is healthy, but in reality might be the biggest saboteur of our blood sugar and overall health. The final terrible breakfast food I want to talk about today is sugary cereal. Yes, you know them. Those colorful boxes with fun cartoon characters or promises of added vitamins and whole grains. This is perhaps one of the greatest marketing victories of the food industry, convincing an entire generation of Americans that a bowl of sugary cereal is an essential part of a balanced breakfast. I understand why many of us remain loyal to sugary cereals. First, they're extremely convenient. Just pour into a bowl, add milk, and breakfast is ready in less than a minute. No cooking, no preparation, no dishes to wash. For many seniors living alone, especially those with physical limitations, this convenience is very appealing. Second, sugary cereals are available in every supermarket with hundreds of options, from those for adults, promising to lower cholesterol, to those with fruit flavors and sugar coating. And for decades, they've been advertised as fortified with vitamins and minerals, making many people think they're a healthy choice. But what's the truth about sugary cereals? Let's look at the nutrition label. An average serving of cereal, usually much smaller than what we actually eat, contains 10-12 grams of sugar. That means sugar can make up to 40% of the ingredients. And no, natural honey sugar or brown sugar isn't significantly better. Your body processes them all the same way. What happens when you consume such high amounts of sugar in the morning? Your blood sugar spikes, a particularly serious problem for those over 65, when our cells become less sensitive to insulin. The body releases a large amount of insulin to cope, causing blood sugar to crash. And that's why, around 10 a.m., many seniors feel exhausted, hungry, and crave more food. Additionally, most sugary cereals, even those labeled as whole grain, are usually highly processed, stripping away natural fiber. Without enough fiber and protein, your cereal breakfast won't keep you full for long. And this starts a dangerous cycle. Blood sugar spikes, then crashes, leading to snacking, often on other refined carb foods, and the cycle continues. Over time, these constant blood sugar spikes can lead to insulin resistance and eventually type 2 diabetes, a disease affecting nearly 27% of Americans over 65. And diabetes, as many of us know, is a gateway to countless other health problems, from heart disease to kidney failure, even vision issues. Let me tell you about Martha Simmons, my 68-year-old friend from Phoenix, Arizona. Martha was always careful about her health and chose heart-healthy cereal each morning because it was advertised to help lower cholesterol. I chose the kind labeled low sugar on the box, she said. I thought I was doing the right thing, but after about 2 years with this habit, Martha began noticing she was frequently feeling tired mid-morning. She also gained slight weight despite not changing her food intake. During her annual checkup, her doctor shared concerning news. Martha's HbA1c had risen to 6.3, placing her in the pre-diabetic range. "I was completely shocked," Martha shared. "How could I develop pre-diabetes when I was trying to eat healthy?" So, what should we eat instead of sugary cereal? Let's return to a simple but extremely effective breakfast: whole wheat toast with butter or peanut butter. This isn't soft, airy white bread. We're talking about hearty 100% whole wheat bread, toasted golden brown, spread with a layer of soft butter or creamy peanut butter. Why is whole wheat toast with butter or peanut butter such a great substitute for sugary cereal? First, whole wheat bread contains complex carbohydrates. Unlike the simple sugars in cereal, these carbs take time to digest, releasing glucose gradually into your bloodstream. This helps maintain stable energy throughout the morning without the dramatic spikes and crashes in blood sugar. Second, whole wheat bread is full of fiber, both soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber helps control cholesterol, while insoluble fiber supports healthy digestion. In total, a slice of whole wheat bread contains about 2 to 3 grams of fiber, 3 times more than white bread and more than most sugary cereals. But when you add butter or peanut butter, that's when this breakfast really becomes special. Butter provides monounsaturated fats, the good kind, that support heart and brain health. And peanut butter is even better. It not only has healthy fats, but also contains high-quality protein and essential vitamins like vitamin E and B. Martha switched from sugary cereal to whole wheat toast with peanut butter. "At first, I missed the sweetness of cereal," she admitted. "But after a few weeks, I started to notice I wasn't feeling tired mid-morning anymore, and miraculously, I actually felt full until lunchtime." After 6 months, Martha's HbA1c dropped to 5.7, and she lost 7 pounds without changing anything else in her diet. Here's how I prepare perfect whole wheat toast. Choose bread clearly labeled 100% whole wheat. Don't be fooled by terms like multigrain or enriched flour. Toast it for a delicious flavor and slightly crispy texture. If you choose butter, use plant-based butter made with olive oil or canola oil. Just a thin layer is enough for great flavor. If you choose peanut butter, look for 100% natural, just peanuts, no added oils or sugar. Spread 1 or 2 tablespoons on hot toast so the peanut butter melts slightly. If you like it sweeter, drizzle a little honey on top. Honey has a lower glycemic index than white sugar and contains beneficial compounds. The B vitamins in whole wheat bread are invaluable for seniors, especially vitamins B12, B6, and folate, all linked to healthy brain function and reduced risk of dementia. Research from Oxford University shows that higher B vitamin levels are associated with less brain shrinkage in older adults, a remarkable finding. And the protein in peanut butter, about 8 grams in 2 tablespoons, helps maintain muscle mass, especially important as we age. Don't forget that after 65, we need more protein than when we were younger to maintain the same amount of muscle. Every meal, including breakfast, needs to have a source of high-quality protein. In summary, instead of sugary cereal with refined sugar, processed flour, and lacking essential nutrients, choose whole wheat toast with butter or peanut butter. You'll provide your body with slow-releasing complex carbohydrates, brain-supporting healthy fats, and protein necessary to maintain muscle. This is a breakfast that helps maintain energy, stabilize blood sugar, and support overall health as we age. Now that we've explored 4 breakfast foods seniors should avoid and how to replace them with more nutritious options, let's summarize what we've learned today. Breakfast truly shapes our entire day, especially as we enter the golden years of our lives. As we've discovered today, our breakfast choices don't just affect our energy levels for the next few hours. They have profound impacts on our heart health, muscle strength, and even our ability to live independently in the years ahead. Let's review the foods we should avoid. We talked about donuts and pastries, those sugar bombs that cause sudden blood sugar spikes and increase heart disease risk. We examined bacon and sausage with their saturated fat and high sodium, which can lead to high blood pressure and heart disease. We discovered that fried eggs and hash browns create harmful compounds and cause digestive problems. And finally, we exposed the truth about sugary cereals, advertised as healthy but actually loaded with refined sugar. Instead, we explored 4 excellent alternatives: oatmeal with fruit and nuts, rich in soluble fiber that helps lower cholesterol and stabilize blood sugar. Vegetable scrambled eggs provide high-quality protein and essential nutrients for our brain and muscles. Greek yogurt with berries packed with probiotics, calcium, and antioxidants. And whole wheat toast with butter or peanut butter. A perfect combination of complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, and plant protein. This isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. Think about Dorothy, who lowered her pre-diabetic numbers. Think about Richard, who recovered from a heart attack by changing his breakfast. Think about Barbara, who freed herself from tormenting stomach pain, and Martha, who regained her lost energy. All these changes came from one simple decision every morning. I understand that changing habits is never easy, especially habits that have been with us for decades. That's why I recommend starting slowly. You don't need to completely revolutionize your breakfast immediately. Start with one small change each week. This week, maybe replace that donut with oatmeal twice. Next week, try Greek yogurt instead of fried eggs for a few days. Another tip, prepare ahead. Mornings are often busy, and we easily fall back on familiar choices when we're in a hurry. Prepare overnight oats in the refrigerator. Hard-boil eggs so you can eat them quickly. Make sure you always have Greek yogurt and frozen berries on hand. When healthy choices become as easy as unhealthy ones, you've won half the battle. And don't forget this, our taste buds change. Many people are surprised to discover that after a few weeks without super sweet or super salty foods, they begin to recognize and appreciate natural flavors more. Tart yogurt with sweet berries starts to become enjoyable. The mild sweetness of oatmeal with a touch of honey is enough to satisfy sugar cravings. Your body won't just thank you. Your taste buds will eventually thank you too. So the next time you prepare breakfast, ask yourself, am I providing my muscles with the nutrients they need to stay strong? Are my choices supporting heart health and stable blood sugar? Am I investing in my long-term health and independence? If you found today's video helpful, let us know in the comments. What changes will you make to your breakfast habits? Have you had success with any nutritional changes? We love hearing your stories. They inspire not just us, but our entire viewing community. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more expert advice on healthy aging, nutrition, and muscle support. Wishing you wonderful breakfasts and abundant health. See you in our next video.